Hello, so it has been around 38 hours since the last Funfair ride took place on Saturday evening at 11 o'clock. And it has been around 22 to 23 hours roughly since I was last here on Walton Street. I came yesterday on the Sunday, which was the day after the final night of Funfair 2025, just to check out the pull off and pull down progress. And we had a little walk around Walton Street and just saw everything that was happening. And I did comment in that video and say if you wanted me to come back tomorrow, which is now today on the Monday, then let me know. And you did, so I am. We're back on Walton Street for the very last Funfair 2025 vlog of the series. So here we are, Walton Street itself. Welcome back to the channel, by the way. Thank you for coming back. And here we are. Walton Street is completely free of any Funfair sort of evidence. There's nothing to suggest that Funfair took place on Walton Street. On the car park itself, there is still a few bits going on. There's the Around the World, which is here. When I came yesterday, there was still 3 of the tallest rides still up. There was Around the World, which is here. There was Matthew's Skyfall, which is over there, which we'll take a look at in a second. And then there was the Big Ben Tower. And there was still quite a bit of crash test still up, which looks like it's still in progress there. And it looks like the big wheel and the spinning coaster are still being taken down, but that is Around the World. So it is pretty much done. A lot of the littler rides and stalls and all the juvenile rides and food stalls and most of the flat rides have actually packed up and gone already. So quick. I know a lot of people said, well, they was telling me in the comments of the video yesterday where a lot of these rides are heading. I know somebody said that they're going, somebody said some of them are going abroad, some of them said they are going to Anglesey in North Wales for next week. And some of them will be heading to Hyde Park Winter Wonderland, which starts on the 14th of November. But you can see a lot more car park now. It's looking a lot more like it did on that very first Funfair pull on and build vlog all those days ago. How much has happened on this car park since then? But yeah, because I did mention yesterday that if you put in the comments that you wanted me to come back today, I'll try and find a way to get back, and I did. I had to get 2 buses, but I'm here. It is about lunchtime, about 1 o'clock. So it's about 23 hours since I was last here. So if you want to do your own comparison from yesterday to today, watch yesterday's video if you haven't already, and then watch this one and you'll see what's happened in the space of 23 hours. And it's hard to believe that just 2 days ago, Funfair was thriving on a Saturday afternoon, so busy, getting ready for one of the busiest nights of the whole fair on that Saturday night. And then 2 days later, it's like this. So this pole position truck, I think, is in the same, the Dodgems one, is in the same place it was yesterday. Unless they've moved it and then put it back, but I'm sure it was in that position. But basically today I've really just come to check out the Around the World, which is happening there, attached to the crane. The Big Ben Tower, which is down here, which doesn't look much like its former self. Looks like a dock tower from Grimsby rather than a Big Ben Tower. But that one, the giant wheel, the spinning coaster, the crash test over there, and Matthew's Skyfall, which was the 4 or 5 biggest structures still up as of yesterday. So check these guys out working on Big Ben Tower, or little medium-sized Ben Tower as it is right now. Getting it all on the back of the trucks, look. And yeah, this will be definitely the last. This is the end of Funfair 2025 vlogs. I did cover a little bit of it all yesterday, saying thank you and everything. So hopefully everybody who's watching this video today would have already watched yesterday's, because this is basically just a follow-on. This is like a part 2. If you haven't already, go watch that and then come back to this one, because then you can see for yourself the difference. But there is Big Ben Tower. And it was cool on the build-up. I did say that on one of the pull-on and build-up days. When it was all on the back of trucks, you could see the face up there, that clock tower face. It was on the back of a truck and you get super close to it, and it was so cool to just be able to be that close to it and see the details on it and just see the inside of it and everything. Because usually it's just at the top of the ride and you never really get that close to it. But that's one of the joys of coming on these build-up days, because you get to see things from a different perspective. And it's just fascinating to see. But that is Big Ben Tower, and then there's just a quarter wheel left up there on the big wheel. We'll have a look at the giant wheel when we get round there, but I've got a feeling that might be pretty much gone. Some of them just make absolutely insane progress on both the build up and the pull down. There's just what's left of this spinning coaster. A little bit more Big Ben Tower down here. I will keep on walking around just to see what's happening, and then if there's anything that we want to come back to, just have a little second look at, we will do that before we leave. But it's weird and cool to see it in this sort of state. As I say, they bring them down, they build them up super fast, but they bring them down even faster. Like literally in about 48 hours from the last ride, pretty much everything from Hull Fair has gone off this site. So if I did come back tomorrow, I won't be, just because when I come back tomorrow there'll be literally nothing here. But if I did come back tomorrow, it'd just look like it was just a car park again, and you'd be like, what, Hull Fair? Hull Fair was here? And it's really cool to see. I know I did hear somebody say as well, I have heard somebody in the past say that a lot of teenagers come on this Sunday morning and just patrol this car park just looking for money, because a lot of people have dropped £1 coins and £2 coins and notes and all sorts of coins underneath rides, like off the bigger rides, and they're all in the mud and in the stones. And I guess if you come early enough and you do a little walk around, you'd actually get a good chance of finding a fair amount of coins. Oh look, I should have stayed at Around the World, because it's up on the crane. I'm just going to walk back over that way just to catch this bit if I can, and then we'll carry on walking around. But that looks cool, just to see the top half of it, the top sort of peak of the ride on the crane. Let's head over there and just see what they're going to do with that, and then we'll carry on walking around. I do want to go see the progress of, well, everything, to be honest, everything that's still on site here at Walton Street. And like I said, this is 100% definitely the last vlog of the Hull Fair 2025 series. But as I said yesterday, it's only a matter of what, 48 weeks, 48 and a half weeks or so until I begin Hull Fair 2026 vlogs. I know there's a group on Facebook that's already changed its name from Hull Fair 2025 to Hull Fair 2026, and so the excitement begins for next year's fair. But look at that, it's going on the back of the truck. That's quite cool. Look at that. It's not very often you actually get a chance to be this close to the top of this ride and see it this close up. Such a massive operation, considering they do it so quick. I say it every time, and you're probably sick of hearing me talk about it, but it's just astounding just how quick these things happen. And when you're here watching it like this and you just see the size of the crane, like they've obviously had to get that crane here from another site and then get it operated, and look how big it is. It's a proper industrial strength crane, industrial size crane. And it's just floating now. Around the world, it's just floating mid-air. "65 meters high," and that is the top of it. It's interesting to see the straps just on the top lot that was attached to the crane hook. Just that weight, all that weight is being held by that. And as I said before on another one, I don't know if I'd trust, I've seen too many Final Destination movies to be stood underneath anything like that. Like that guy is right there. I would not stand underneath it. No chance. Don't matter what it's attached to, and it don't matter how safe it is. I've seen too many movies. So I guess they're going to try and tip it. They're going to pop it on the end there and tip it so it lays down onto the trailer. But that's cool. We might pop back and have another look at that in a little bit. Let's go check out the state of Crash Test and Matthew's Skyfall. And I think there might still be a little bit of, is it Vertigo still over there? We'll have a check. Still one of the food places there, look. That one that was there at the very beginning before Hull Fair opened, that is there serving burgers and hot dogs and chips to all these workers. So next time I come back in a few minutes to that, it might be laid down on the back of the trailer. But I do want to just go check out. There is a lot of fast, rapid activity going on the few attractions that are still here. So I don't really want to miss anything really cool. I don't want to spend too much time just focusing on one when I might be missing some really cool footage from another, if you know what I mean. We'll go have a little look at Crash Test. There is only literally a handful of attractions still on site. The Super Bob there, for some reason, is still there in that state. It was like that yesterday, I think, as well. But yeah, it just feels like it was the very early days of the build-up when there's not a lot on site. There's just the bigger rides that have just got a little bit of progress. And Walton Street is open again now to the public as of yesterday at 3 PM. It's just normal access now for everybody. And I think the exodus of vehicles from this car park is creating a little bit of a wait at the Springbank, at the Anlaby Road end of Walton Street. There was a bit of a queue of traffic trying to get out. A lot of people, as I was walking down here from the bus station on near the stadium just behind us there, a lot of people were turning around in their cars and going back the other way. Another giant crane here lifting pieces of crash test. Just laying the pieces down, I guess, before they place them on the back of the trailer in the order they need to be in. That's what's left of Evans Walters. The ground is quite wet and muddy and sludgy. We've had a fair bit of rain over the past sort of few days. That's crash test. There's still a little bit of tracks there, a little bit of tracks still to come down, but judging by what they've done in the last 23 hours since I was here yesterday, when crash test was pretty much still fully up, by this time tomorrow this will all be gone. There's a little bit of Matthews Skyfall on the back of that truck there. And there's the top of it. Just the last section at the top, look, with the little icon at the top, the little, is it like a flame or something on the top? Just look at it as I'm stood here at Matthews Skyfall with one section left to go on the back of the truck. Look at the site of Funfair that just 48 hours ago was thriving, buzzing, loud music, loads of lights, thousands of people. I think Turbojet's still there as well. They haven't got the actual vehicle for that yet. It's just still on the back of the trailer, look. I'm just watching where I'm walking because it's like extremely muddy and sludgy. I don't want to get my trainers filthy. And there we go, so he's just dropped that off. He's gone round the other side there. I don't know what he's going to do now, but I guess he's... Well, no, I think that last section probably goes on the back of this one, does it? But there's nothing happening right now. They're not actually actively taking anything down. Just doing a bit of prep on it. So I can see Around the World is still up on that crane. Take a walk through the centre just to see if there's anything cool to see. I don't think there is because we'd see it from here because it's very vast and open right now, but we'll take a little stroll back over to Big Ben Tower and see what's going on over there. As I say, this is the very last one that I will be doing, so for Hull Fair 2025, so I hope you've enjoyed the series. I did say yesterday, but I will say it again just in case you didn't watch yesterday's. Thank you so much for joining me on this awesome journey of Hull Fair, from literally an empty car park to Europe's largest fun fair, fully built up. And then we've done a couple of these little end of fair vlogs as well, one yesterday and then this one today. So really enjoyed making them, and I've really enjoyed engaging with you guys, reading your comments, replying to you all, sparking memories for a lot of people, which is an awesome sort of benefit of doing these videos. People who live far away, who can't get to Hull Fair, who used to when there was a child, get to watch them and relive memories. And I've had a lot of comments saying things like that, and that really makes it all worthwhile, to be honest. That's what it's about. But I just want to say one more time, thank you so much to everybody, whether you've just found the channel because of Hull Fair, whether you've been a subscriber for a long time and you've been watching the Hull Fair videos even from last year or even the year before. This is the third Hull Fair that we've covered since we started the channel. And all your comments and your likes and all your follows on all the socials, it's massively appreciated, so thank you so much. Big track piece of crash test there being lined up. Right, meticulously getting it exactly in spot. Look at that, perfectly done. Said before, they're good. They're so good at what they do. The little pizza and coffee bar, the little Leaning Tower pizza thing, like, is still there. So that must belong. Does it belong to one of the ride operators that are still on site and they're just waiting to put the ride on the back of the trailer, and then are they going to fix that and attach that to the back of that trailer? Because it's weird that that's still there. It's been like that for, well, since yesterday. It hasn't changed. So it looks like they are about to lay down the around the world. It's tilted at an angle now, the top bit, look. So let's go check that bit out again. Sorry, I'm just going back and forth across Walton Street just because the big attractions are literally spread out across the whole length of the fairground site. You've got one there, one in that corner, one in that corner, and one in that corner. Literally all four corners of the fair. Nothing in the centre, just around the edge. So I'm sort of crisscrossing a bit just because I do want to catch as much cool footage as I can. I want to see this getting... Ooh, nearly slipped then. I want to see this top bit of around the world getting laid down, getting placed on the back of the trailer. Look, clouds are coming over. It's sunny at the minute, but it's not raining. It is sunny and warm, but as you can see, grey skies are looming. Right, is this going to get laid now? Look at that. That's so cool. This is just so cool to see. This is just as fascinating as coming to the fair and seeing it all up and running with the music and the people and things. Just this side of it. It's awesome. but he's telling him to stop. Hang on, Richard, 1 o'clock. He just said, hang on, Richard, 1 o'clock. He's got the walkie-talkie, look. And he's making sure it's coming down at the right angle. It's got little plinths, look, that it rests on at the bottom. You just see them there. I'm just being quiet so you can sort of get the atmosphere as well a little bit. It's all part of it. And there you go, look. And there you go, it's on. It's on the back of the trailer. That was awesome. Oh, that was cool. Let's go check out Big Ben. We'll have one last little look at Big Ben Tower, see if there's anything different from 10 minutes ago. We'll walk past the giant wheel, the big wheel, sorry, not the giant wheel, the big wheel. Well, it's called the giant wheel, but it's not actually the one we all know as the giant wheel. Spinning coaster. We'll head back over to Skyfall, past Crash Test, and we'll end the video there because that is pretty much everything that's still on the side. So again, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I did say on yesterday's video, comment on this one, what has been your highlight of this year's fair if you've attended Hull Fair 2025. Let me know what your highlight was, whether it's food, whether it's a certain ride, whether it's the atmosphere, whether it was your first time. Is it something that you come to every year? Was you born around here and you've been doing it since you was a child? Let me know all these thoughts and all these memories. I am really interested in reading them. I do read every comment, I do reply to every comment. So pop them in the comments down below. So Big Ben Tower, it looks like they've just took a piece of the external tower off. And there's still the internal bit of the bottom section, but then there's the ride mechanism as well itself that's on the wheels, look. The big wheel's got a chunk of it taken off again now. When we came 10-15 minutes ago there was the full quarter of it. Now it's just a half a quarter, so an eighth, I guess. Is that an eighth? Is that an eighth of a big wheel? Is it? Let's say it is. He's got his little remote look in his hand, operating the crane. So I wonder where these guys are going next. If you know where Big Ben Tower's going next, let me know in the comments. Did come from Skegness. I did go to Skegness. I remember going in the summer sometime when it was announced that they was getting Big Ben Tower just behind the pleasure beach, almost on the seafront at Skeggy. And I did go see it. It looks like they're getting the big One of the bits of the frame of the wheel laid down, look, into the back of the trailer. Physically demanding work. You're gonna have to be a tough cookie to do this. You don't need a gym membership if you're lugging these rides up and down. Slowly being lowered, look, to be level, to get on the flatbed there. But he had to, well, those two guys had to use all the might to push this end whilst it was being lowered, so then it would be sort of situated right at the far end there. And he just said, "Oh, I'm sweating." You could see he used some colourful language to portray just how difficult it was physically, should I say. And there you go. That's about to get laid down on the last section of track there. Well, not track, it's frame, innit? This is a big wheel, not a roller coaster. That is not a track. But there you go. What's going on at Big Ben now? I think they've took another section of track off this spinning coaster and put that on the back of the truck. Same situation, I think. They're just putting the bolts in now to secure that piece of ride on the top there. And then yeah, the spinning coaster, when we walked around here 15 minutes ago or so, 20 minutes ago, there was an additional piece of track, so they've took that off using the crane, popped it on the back of the trailer there. So we'll go check out Skyfall, see if there's anything different there. Walk past crash test. And not only will we call it a vlog, call it a day, call it a series, call it a year for Hull Fair 2025. We have got some more cool vlogs coming up now on the channel. Currently sitting on 3 different vlogs from 2 different places in Europe, just across the water there in the Netherlands where we was last week. It's one of the reasons why we missed a few days of Hull Fair once it opened, because the first Saturday of Hull Fair opening we did head across to the Netherlands for a few days. And we've got a few awesome vlogs coming from a couple of amazing places. One in particular over in the Netherlands. If you're a fan of the channel and you've been with us for a while, you'll probably know which one I'm talking about. Our favourite place in the world, Efteling theme park. If you like rides, then stick around for that, because there's some awesome rides at Efteling. And we'll be bringing you all that on a couple of vlogs from there that will be going up over the next couple of weeks. And then there's also another place as well that we visited while we was there, which was just around the corner from Efteling, about 30 minutes away. So that's all to come on the channel. But I think that's it for that end of Hull Fair. Just be checking these last couple of attractions out down here, and we're done. So yeah, I guess that's probably going to attach itself to the back of one of the bigger trailers. That's the only reason why I can think that these smaller ones would still be around, just because if there was solo and there was just on their own ready to go, they'd be on the back of trailer, on the back of wagons and things now, and they'd be gone. A lot of the smaller ones that are still here yesterday as well as today are probably because they are part of a group part of a set where they're taking them to the next destination along with the bigger attractions that are still being taken down. So crash test still, tracks are still being laid just on the ground there in sort of sections, look, just so then they can be loaded correctly onto the back of the wagon there. Someone did mention in the comments for yesterday's that they'd also like me to go down to West Park to have a look at the living trailers and the wagons, but I did walk past it on the way in and there's literally not a lot there now because this is so open and vast and Walton Street is open. I think anybody that was still over there as of this morning or yesterday have now brought their wagons and living trailers onto Walton Street. As you can see, there's still a fair few here. Comparing that to how many attractions are still here, that probably means that most of them are actually here next to their attractions, just to make it a lot easier. So West Park is pretty much empty now of that, so I'm not going to waste any time of mine or yours just going over there to see pretty much nothing. One or two caravans, one or two holiday, well, not holiday homes, one or two living wagons, but the ones that are still on West Park now, they do just look like caravans. They are just sort of towable caravans. They're not mobile homes in any way. And there's Matthew's Skyfall. The chain being dragged along the platform there. And the last piece being worked on now before they dismantle the platform, fold it all up, get it on the back of a flatbed. Well, that actually is the flatbed in it. The platform is a trailer in itself, so they'll just fold it all up, attach it to a motor and be on the way. Again, like I said with Big Ben Tower, if anybody knows where Matthew's Skyfall is heading after Hull Fair, after today, pop that in the comments down below. I'm interested to know. Where are these bigger rides heading to? I think some of them might be going over to Europe, because I did see a few of the trailers, a few of the rides heading toward the ferry terminal yesterday as I was driving past. I don't know if they were just heading in that direction, but the only other sort of place to go in that direction from Hull as you're heading sort of inwards is toward Keyingham, Otteringham, Patrington and then Withensea area and along the coastal roads. So in that direction, I would have thought the only viable destination for these sort of trailers and rides on the back of trucks would be the ferry to go across to Europe. Otherwise, they'd be heading out on the A63 going toward the M62 out of Hull and then joining the motorway network for the rest of the UK, wherever they're going to be heading. But that is it, guys. That is it. I'll do one last panoramic spin around Hull Fair 2025, if that's what you can still call it. I think now we just call it Walton Street Car Park. And that is it. Right, so that's it. That is Hull Fair 2025 series completed, bookended, done. Thank you so much for watching. As I said before, comment down below with all the different things that I've asked you to comment if you feel like it. But I just want to say one more time, thank you so much to everybody that's joined us on this awesome journey of about, I'd say it's about a dozen vlogs. I haven't 100% checked, so I don't know the full amount, but in the playlist of Hull Fair 2025, I think there's around about a dozen videos, and it's basically just sort of followed the journey of the fair from this being an empty car park to the build-up every day, pretty much every day until opening day, and then there was a full food vlog, this is the whole length of Walton Street, checking out all the food prices, checking out the food options, and then a couple of pull down and pull off videos, and that sort of bookends the whole series. So I'm pretty pleased with it, and I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that's come along. Thank you for commenting, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing if you've joined us for that. Thank you for all the engagement, all the questions, all the awesome bits of information and the memories. Really do appreciate everything, so thank you so much. And I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the things that I've enjoyed seeing and recording. So until the next video, thank you so much once again. You're probably sick of hearing me say it, but I genuinely do mean it. Thanks for joining me. So from Walton Street, Hull Fair 2025 for the last time. See you later. Goodbye.